What's up, people? Jay here to provide an update for you all on the goings on in PWF Empire. As you may have noticed at this point, it's not much going on, or at the very least, it's a lot less than what you would usually expect on a week-to-week basis from the channel. For example, we're not doing PWF Empire Live as frequently as we used to, and I did put out a tweet like a week or two ago letting you guys know a little bit about what's going on, but in that time, I've since realized, well, shit, PWF Empire Live kinda is, well, it's not even kinda, it is the franchise. Is the centerpiece of everything that happens with PWF Empire. So if this show is going to be affected in a substantial way, maybe that warrants a little bit more than a tweet. So that's why I'm making this video right here and right now. So with all of that being said, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with PWF Empire. I'm talking with some of the other guys, and we're coming up with these different ideas and stuff that we are going to add as new content to the channel and the website. And I also took that as an opportunity, with us thinking of new content to add, I took it as an opportunity to review some of the stuff that was already there. Enter PWF Empire Live. So I went back to late 2014, early 2015, when Charlie and I were creating the show. And I remember us being so excited about PWF Empire Live because we wanted to turn this into something unlike anyone has seen when it comes to people talking about wrestling on YouTube. I believe I said on the very first episode of PWF Empire Live that this was going to be a living, breathing experiment because we were going to be trying out different concepts on the show on a week-to-week basis and seeing what worked and seeing what didn't work, all in an effort to add an interesting twist to the discussion of pro wrestling. I really wanted to turn this into a show that was like a wrestling version of an ESPN show. Now, maybe that was a little ambitious because I ain't got ESPN's budget. I'm not about that life. So I'm not going to say I don't know what the fuck I was thinking because you guys will understand what I'm saying, going forward. But, that was really ambitious and I was ready to take on that challenge. But a lot has changed from that point until now. And then going back to that point as well, I remember being adamant and saying, I do not want this to be a regular old review show where it's like we just pick topics from Raw and SmackDown and bam, and what do you think about this topic? What do you think about this one? And what do you think about that one? And then at the very same time, I did not want this to be a show where it's just like a discussion show, topic. The show ends. Pretty sure you guys know where I'm going with this if you watch PWF Empire Live because you know what the format of the show is. That was late 2014, early 2015. Fast forward to 2016, and what I did not want PWF Empire Live to be is exactly what the fuck the show is. That is not to say that it was a bad product, but the mere fact is that I'm always going to look at PWF Empire Live as existing in the shadow of the original concept that Charlie and I came up with for the show. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with the format of PWF Empire Live currently, but we also do have another program on this channel, the PWF Empire Podcast. And in judging those two against each other, I feel like the PWF Empire Podcast is much more effective and it's much closer to what I want. There's a problem with PWF Empire Live where it's like, this is not the format that I want the show to have, but if I judged it based off of the current format that it has, I still think the PWF Empire Live podcast or the PWF Empire Podcast, it beats it in that regard. So the PWF Empire Podcast, it will continue on, and if you guys haven't checked out that show yet, it's a lot more loose than PWF Empire Live, and it's a lot more relaxed, and there's a lot less pressure with the audio only element of the show. And Cass and I, we have an amazing flow to us, and I just think that show is really cool, and we take live viewer calls and all of that good stuff. So if you guys have not checked that out, we do it on Fridays usually, so go ahead and check that one out. We talk about a wide range of topics, and the way that show came about is that Cass and I, and then you add in Dalton and Lucas, we talked about wrestling so damn much off air. Still do. But it's like we talked so much about wrestling that I was getting mad because it's like we would talk about shit and I'm like, man, this is a good conversation. I wish somebody other than us four could hear this now. And I guess that's why we created the PWF Empire podcast, where it's like, okay, you know what? Let's just get on here and chat like we would off air when nobody's listening about wrestling, but people are just listening this time around. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure you guys check that out. But back to PWF Empire Live. Yeah, I just felt like that show was, it existed in the shadow of what I originally came up with with Charlie. And I still like a lot of those ideas that we had for PWF Empire Live originally. So what we are going to do going forward, PWF Empire Live is going on an indefinite hiatus, and the original concept that we had for PWF Empire Live, we're gonna break up those segments and basically sprinkle them around PWF Empire. So things like Empire's Court and Push Repackage Release, they won't be segments on a show, they'll be standalone videos, and we'll add in some different segments and things like that. And this serves like a twofold type thing. On one hand, it's interesting, it's engaging, and it adds an interesting twist to a pro wrestling discussion where it's not like, okay, well, what do you think about this topic, and talk about it. It's just, you know, it puts a twist on things. And on the other side of things, I'm over the whole trying to force everything into a 1 hour show, because there was a point in time where we had 3 weekly 1 hour shows on PWF Empire, and I'm over that shit. Like 3 hours at the very least, 3 hours of content, like I'm not doing that anymore. So we're gonna be switching things up, and this provides us with an opportunity to be more creative and just like flex our muscles from a creative standpoint and see what we get as an end result. And this also provides you all with an opportunity to let us know what it is that you may want to see going forward. And with that being said, you can go ahead and leave comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all of the things that I said in this video, whether you agree or disagree. And if you have any ideas that you would like to see us explore on the channel going forward, feel free to go ahead and share them. And there's a survey on pwfempire.com. If you want to do it anonymously, you can just go ahead and go to the survey, because I know some people, they're not comfortable with being 100% truthful. You know, when people like, oh, like, I see your motherfucking username, you're talking shit about me. Like, I'm not gonna be that way. But if you're more comfortable with doing it anonymously in a survey on pwfempire.com, and I would suggest you all, like everyone, check it out, whether you want to leave comments on this video or whatever, everybody go check it out, and just let us know what you think. And if you would like to be involved in what's going on with PWF Empire Live, because my original idea for this website as a whole was for it to be a platform for wrestling fans to express their creativity. And some of you don't know what the PWF stands for, but it's Pro Wrestling Fan Empire, because this is supposed to be where we rule. I'm a fan, you're a fan, so if there's something that you would like to do, something that you've been thinking about, a concept that you want to explore, a column that you want to write, whatever it may be, there's a link down in the description box for you guys to check that out too. So yeah, think I got everything out. I guess the only thing that remains is a timeline or timetable as to when all of this stuff is going to happen. It's going to be a slow rollout. It's not necessarily going to be like, okay, this is the week where bam, all of this shit is going to be happening and we're going to throw up all of this stuff. It's going to be a slow rollout. I'm looking at maybe December for a lot of the big things to be happening. And yeah, so I'm going to do a whole hell of a lot of research. I'm going to be looking around, because this is something that I like to do. I don't like to do the thing where it's like you're keeping up with the Joneses and, oh, what is this person that's talking about wrestling? What are they doing? No, I'm looking at the fucking View. I'm looking at Around the Horn, Pardon the Interruption, His and Hers. I'm looking at the Tonight Show. What are they doing that we could possibly put a little pro wrestling twist to it and add it to the channel? So that's what I'm going to do over these next few weeks. So if you do not see me as often as you used to, that's the reason why. And just know on the other side of this, we got some great stuff coming for you guys. I thank you for your patience, and I thank you for your support. And I got to head over to the fucking gym right now. So yeah, I'm done with this video. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.